Digitalisation of the 21st century is the latest advance of our developing world. It gives us the opportunity to share any form of information at the push of a button, but creating new technology means destroying the old. These digital platforms seem to be having negative effects that are a result of overexposure to modern technology and to a certain extent have negatively affected society in permanent ways. This is the antisocial network. I wanted to see how technology has affected communication within my family, so I went to go see K90 and Mary 78, who have both seen this dramatic change in society firsthand. So what are your names?
Catherine Forsyth.
Mary Lynch.
So can you tell me what your school experience was like? Did you enjoy school?
I did.
Yeah. Did you have any favourite subjects?
Just liked going to school,
Yeah. Like
meeting all my friends.
Yeah.
My favourite was art,
Oh.
because he always used to get me picture put on the wall. So that was my favourite.
When you were younger, how did you contact your friends, like outside of school?
You always lived near your friend,
Yeah.
and you could buy a tram ticket for 1 penny, and you get about 6 rides with that 1 penny. Yeah, which was marvellous in the summer,
Yeah.
because you could be out all day, and your parents didn't have to worry. You'd done as you're told.
Yeah.
And I think if a father gave you an order, you had to carry his house, be in at such and such a time. They always knew where you were. Museum was very interesting. We used to go nearly every Sunday.
Oh.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
And it was good educational, because although you're only children together, you always had something to talk about, statues and pictures, history of them, what you knew. Yeah, it was very, very good.
And when I went to school, it was the beginning of the war was on, 1940.
Yeah.
So my memories were of school that was really always disrupted because the air raids,
Yeah.
as soon as you'd hear the air raids, you'd go in the shelter.
Yeah.
And they had big shelters in the school fields, so we'd all run. And I remember we didn't have any lessons. Teacher used to read stories to keep us occupied. Yeah. And you'd never go anywhere unless you had your gas mask.
Yeah.
And it was just like nowadays, if you get ready for school, you pick your bag up, your briefcase or whatever, satchel.
Yeah.
We used to pick our bag with our gas mask in, just in case there was an attack and you had to put your gas mask on.
Yeah.
If there would have been gas, you know. There was never any street lights. I remember we always used to go, you had your gas mask and you had a torch, because if you were out, that was the only way you could see along the roads. Everyone had to have the houses with black shutters on.
Yeah.
So it was like making your own way with your torch home. I remember in school we were told never to pick anything out of the road that didn't, something strange you could never pick up, because they were like bombs or they had whatever. So that was, little things like that you think of, really.
Yeah.
I do remember the air raid shelter.
In the back garden.
In the back garden. And my dad put lino on, because there was 9 of us, and we'd be running in and out, and the shelter was just on mud.
Yeah.
So as a big carrier. So my dad had the idea of putting lino down. And we went in our shelter, and it was that comfy. We had everything in there. We went in on the Friday night when the air raid started, and we didn't come out till the Monday. And the sirens, we were that happy and singing in the shelter. We didn't hear the all clear going. So we were in an extra night. And everybody wondered where we were. And we were all stuck in the shelter. And Nanny was running in and out. My mum was running in and out with drinks. You might remember. I remember, and we had a fine time. So that it was happy, but it was, if we'd have realised it was very, very serious. But we are happy, just happy times.
And home life was marvellous, wasn't it?
Home life was
With
just...
all the people in the house, you know, all the children, we always agreed.
Yeah.
And when we, at night time, we would have to go into the shelter and that.
Yeah.
And my mum always carried a parcel. Wouldn't tell us what it was. It was birth certificates, death
certificates, in case the house blew up.
Yeah.
That'd be
all the important. And she
insurance.
wouldn't let anyone hold it.
Insurance
in
policies. Insurance, because if you died and you weren't insured, it was hard. And she'd think of all that.
What did you like to do in your spare time, like hobbies and things like that?
It was mainly you'd go on walks, wouldn't you, Karen?
Yeah.
You'd go on walks.
Your parents knew where you were going.
You'd take a bottle of water and a jam butty, and you'd go on a long walk. And even if just picking up leaves and things like that, there was nothing. We thought it was exciting, but nowadays you think, just going on walks, walking through, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what we enjoyed.
Christmas morning was so funny in everybody's house because some used to get a handkerchief, a bit of fruit.
We always used to get one present, and there'd always be apple, orange, wasn't that?
Oh right, do you have a handkerchief or no?
We'd get a handkerchief. And you could embroider that. Just thought of that. We used to have embroidery sets.
Can you tell me when the first time was that you used like a phone?
I remember the first time we had a phone, and our Sue, she was 11. But going back, nobody had phones years ago. If you had an emergency, you'd phone Gawley's, the shop. You'd say, can you pass on a message? And he'd do that because he knew you. And that's how everyone helped everyone else.
Yeah.
Tuppence to make a phone call in.
That's right, if
public chaos, you know.
Public phone call.
Public phone. But I got one because of Kathy's job. Because she said, I'm getting all sorts of messages off girls.
Yeah.
But she said, they've all got phones, Mum.
Yeah.
So I said, well, we'll get one.
Big thing, wasn't it?
We'll get one, but we'll have to all share the cost, see how it goes on.
Do you think technology is affecting society?
Yeah.
Totally different now, love.
It's a good thing. It's good in a lot of ways, but conversation, there's no conversation. And I mean, you can visit anyone and they're on the phone, and you're talking to them and they just keep looking up, and that's one thing I can't get used to. I think it's like, well, we'd say it was ignorant, because if someone wants to talk to you, you look face to face. It's good in some ways, do you say, Ken?
Yeah,
it's
good.
Be. I mean, it must be for technology, but for being sociable,
we can live without it.
You can live without it,
Yeah. So would you say you prefer to talk to people face to face than over the phone?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is there any reason why, or?
Well, you're more in touch on a phone. You know, you do.
You lose the subject that you come on to talk about.
For me, a phone, it's a necessity. You would be lost.
Yeah.
But there's nothing better than someone knocking on your door and coming in.
Out of Liverpool.
And the reason, that's right, everyone's spread.
So, do either of you have Facebook?
Nothing like that, no. You're talking about
I do.
Oh.
No, the computer daughter.
Oh yeah, but
It's out for the simple reason they bought it for me to get in touch with Marie in Italy,
Yeah.
the girls in Scotland, John
Yeah.
in Scotland, and that's the only. And I can't use this. I wouldn't know how to use this. It gets all set up for me, and I just talk.
So, would you say that when you were younger, what you wore and looked like was influenced a lot by the media?
Oh, not
well,
really.
the war was on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and as you may guess, you got so many tokens to buy a
Clothes.
dress. Now then, nobody ever wore trousers. The first time you wore trousers, well, the first time I wore, they just started. I was 16 and I went to meet my friend. We were going to pictures,
Yeah.
and of course, no telly, no nothing, so you don't know what's going on. And she was standing waiting for me, and she had a pair of pants on, and I said, "Oh, I don't like it in there. You
It
better
come
in a
from the
dress."
films, though, Kay, didn't it? From America, all the films come over
Yeah.
like the bell bottom
Yeah.
trousers.
Yeah,
so
and
people
gradually
went on that.
It
You know.
just spread out then, didn't it?
From that.
Yeah.
Social networking doesn't just start with 13-year-olds though, and it isn't just Facebook and Twitter that are a danger in the internet world. It's estimated that in the UK in 2012, 87% of 5 to 7-year-olds are known to use the internet, which is a massive rise from only 68% in 2007. However, researchers have found that children under the age of 9 years old enjoy a variety of online activities, including watching videos, playing games, searching for information, and doing their homework. So I wanted to find out for myself if these stats were true. So I decided to ask my little sister Rebecca, who hasn't had any experience with social networking yet, but isn't far from discovering this whole new world. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Do you enjoy school?
Yeah.
What's your favourite subject?
Let's say it's English.
Do you know what you'd like to do in the future?
Well, I would like to, when I grow up, to be a dentist.
A dentist? Is there any reason why?
Because since some of my family are, I just want to be like them.
Ah, brill. So, what do you like to do when you get home from school? What do you normally do?
Well, mostly go online or draw, watch TV.
Do you go on the internet?
Yeah.
And watch TV as well?
Yeah.
What's your favourite TV programme?
Well, it's Wreck-It Ralph, the movie.
Oh, you
Sam.
like that? Oh, brill. What age do you think it would be good for you to get a mobile phone?
Oh, 9.
9.
Mm.
Do you like to go online?
Yes, a lot.
And what do you like to do? What do you go on?
Well, I play Animal Jam. It's a game where you can create animals and then you can all go on adventures and make friends.
So are these friends real friends or are they just in the computer?
They are real friends. It's like other people playing online.
Oh, so do you talk to these people online or do you just ignore them?
Yeah, I do talk to my best friends and ask people to want to be my buddies.
Oh. Does your school teach you about the dangers of being online?
Yes.
And what type of things do they teach you?
Well, they teach you not to give out personal information and passwords.
Do you communicate with your friends outside of school?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Well, I go on my mum's phone and communicate with my friends.
So your other friends on her mum's phone as well?
Yes.
When you get home from school, how many hours do you think you watch TV?
About 2 or 3.
How many hours a day would you say you go on the internet?
About 4.
Would you like to buy magazines as well?
Yeah.
What's your favourite one?
Probably Monster High.
Oh.
It's good.
Tell me, do you think that how you act and dress now is influenced a lot by things you see online or on TV?
Yes.
So, do you have any role models that you dress like or want
Selena
to be?
Gomez.
Oh, Selena Gomez. Is there any reason why?
Because I like that she's an actress and singer and how she dresses. It's very nice.
Well, thank you very much, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
Facebook seems to be the ruler of the social networking world, and with over 1.23 billion monthly active users in 2013 and over 757 million daily active users that are outside the US and Canada. Twitter isn't far behind either, as there are 500 million accounts and on average around 400 million tweets sent out daily. Although more than half the world are using Facebook and Twitter, Instagram seems to be the dark horse in the social networking world. However, only come out in 2010, it has over 150 million active users and over 16 billion photos posted and shared each day. Instagram started out as a popular iOS app and has transformed itself into a huge social networking necessity, available on all devices including the internet. I chose to speak to my two younger cousins, Zoe and Caitlin, who are constantly up to date with these social networking sites. So what are your names?
Zoe.
Caitlin.
Do you enjoy school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your favourite subjects?
Food tech.
I like chemistry.
Right. So, how do you contact your friends outside of school?
Like FaceTime and stuff.
Text them mostly.
Yeah. And how do you like to spend your spare time? What do you like to do?
Go shopping and go to the gym sometimes.
Go out with my mate.
Nice. So, what are your jobs around the family home?
I have to like do the dishes and hoover up.
Clean up sometimes.
And how often do you and your family do things together, like go to movies, shopping, anything?
Probably about twice a week.
Yeah.
Do you like doing that, yeah?
Yeah.
It's fun. So, what are your ambitions for the future? What do you like to be when you're older?
I'd like to be a nurse.
I'd like to be in like the medical area.
Great. So, at what age did you get a mobile phone?
I was in year 6.
I think I was about 8.
Do you think that's young, or is it just the right age? What age do you think is right to get a mobile?
I think about 10.
Well, I think it depends on why you're getting a phone. Like if you walk home and you're in year 5 or something, then maybe it's a good idea.
Yeah, that is right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, what sites do you use for social networking? What do you like to go on?
Facebook mostly.
And Twitter and Instagram as well.
Yeah, do you both have Snapchat and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think you use more?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how often a day would you say that you check your Facebook?
Probably like 4 or 5 times.
I'd say about 10 times just on your phone and stuff like that.
So, what age did you both get Facebook?
Year 6.
I think I was 10.
And what age do you think is suitable to get Facebook? What do you think?
Well, I don't think you really need it unless you've got family, like, you know, that you can't contact, or friends and things like that.
Isn't there like an age restriction on it?
Yeah.
Just like 13.
Yeah.
So I think being the right age for it.
Yeah.
Does school give you lessons on internet safety, or do they not really?
Sometimes they do, on like Internet Safety Week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like them lessons, or do you think they should just scrap them?
No, I think they're a bit boring, but they're good because some people don't know how to act online.
So, would you say that you've ever been bullied on these websites, or have you bullied someone else? You know how it's easy.
No.
No.
No. Do you think that it's easy to bully people on these sites?
Yeah.
Yeah. How often a month would you say you go out with friends?
Probably about 8 to 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot. So, do you prefer to talk to them over the phone or your social networking face to face? How would you communicate with them?
I prefer to text.
FaceTime again.
Yeah, FaceTime. So, what impact do you think Facebook has on society and young people? Is it positive, negative?
Well, I think it depends on your experiences, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
Yeah. So, how many times a day would you update your status or post a tweet? How often do you go on these and do stuff on
I
them?
normally just stalk people on them. I don't really
Yeah, I just go
update
through my
photos.
newsfeed.
Yeah, you like to know what's going on and stuff
Yeah.
like that, yeah. What's the purpose of your social networking site? What attracts you to it?
Just like it's easier to communicate with people, and you can see what's going on, and you can, even people who are far away, like in different countries and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, do you believe that it's a positive thing, like the whole internet sensation? Is it positive, negative, or do you're in the middle? Or?
I think again it depends on your experience and what happens while you're on it.
Yeah. Do Do you know about the privacy settings on your networking sites, how to protect yourself, stuff like that?
On most of them, yeah.
Do you do that, or do you just leave it?
No, I just leave
I've just
mine.
left mine.
Yeah. What is your process for accepting people on Facebook? Do you add people that you don't speak to but you've seen, or do you just...
If
I have
it,
people who I talk to.
if I get sent a request, I'll click on them and see if we've got any mutual friends, and if I'm good friends with them mutual friends, then I'll accept it.
Yeah. So you don't add random people who
No.
you don't even know?
No.
Do you have any iPads, iPhones, Xbox, PlayStation 3? What have you got in your house?
I've got an iPhone and an iPad.
Yeah.
iPhone, iPad, Mac.
Yeah. How often do you go on them? Do you go on them quite a lot, all them things?
Yeah.
Would you say that's the main thing that you did when you got home, was use technology?
Yeah.
How often do you read a book?
Not very often.
I read it, but I read it on a Kindle.
Yeah. What about do you read magazines and things like that? Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you have a television in your rooms?
Yeah.
And how often a night would you say you watch? How many hours?
Probably 2 to 3.
Probably about 2.
Yeah. And how many hours would you say you're on the internet?
Probably about 5 because I'm normally on the internet while I'm watching TV.
Yeah.
And what would you prefer to do? Watch TV or internet? What's your favourite thing to do?
Prefer to go on the internet.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason why?
There's much more things you can do on the internet than you can on the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Thank you. New technology is constantly evolving into new and dynamic pathways for social media and social interaction. There are positives and negatives with each new advance, but the most important factor isn't whether the changes benefit society. It's that regardless, each new generation seems to accept the changes for their own, so that in fact it becomes routine.